Hello everybody, welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back here on day number 24 from my series that I'm doing called Those Great Bands with Two or More Lead Vocalists. So these are bands, I'm not talking about harmony vocals, you get bands that do all harmony stuff together. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that the band has two or more distinctive lead vocalists in the band. It may be 50-50, it may be they split it 3 ways or 4 ways or even 5 ways, or maybe you got one guy's a little bit more dominant on the vocals than others. But I've tried to steer clear of situations where you have one guy who's the main singer almost all the time and the other guy, maybe one other guy, always throws in a song here and there. And that was part of the reason why I decided not to do the Rolling Stones, because yes, Keith Richards does sing, and he does sing a fair number of songs over their catalog, but generally speaking it's maybe one song an album, so I just didn't include them, although I probably should have in retrospect, but I didn't. All these singers are singers I like, and I tried to stay with bands. I'm not talking about bands like Black Sabbath or Judas Priest that have that one dominant guy, maybe one other person. Actually, I don't think Judas Priest has one, but Black Sabbath, where you have one lead singer and then he goes to another lead singer and then a third lead singer. They switch lead singers, like one guy leaves the band. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about bands that have 2 or more lead singers in the group. And not all of the singers that have played in a lot of these bands am I content to put on here. Like, you might have a band that had 2 or 3 lead singers and then a couple of them left and they got 2 or 3 more. I'm not going to talk about all of them, just the ones that impacted me. So without further ado, today is day 24 of the series, and we're going with a band that is a bit of a substitute. I changed it because the original band, I decided the guy did 1 or 2 songs, one of the singers, and I decided that it wasn't enough to warrant him, so I took the band out and I put this band in. This is a band I've loved. They did a lot of big hits in the 60s, but the era that I'm going to talk about is the era in the early mid 70s where they had a couple of fairly big hits, and we're talking about the Four Seasons. And there's 3 singers in this band at the point in time that I liked them quite a bit, and one was Jerry Policy, Don Ciccone, and of course the legendary Frankie Valli, who did most of the 60s stuff. So in this band, all 3 of them did singing in the group. The big hit for them, December of '63, that was done primarily by Jerry Policy and then Don Ciccone doing some parts in it, Frankie Valli doing some of the chorus in it as well. So all 3 of them had an impact on this level band. I like them all. They all have that, of course, falsetto. Nobody does that better than Frankie Valli, maybe the best falsetto singer in the history of music, or at least one of them anyways. But Don Ciccone was so good, and so was Jerry Policy, so good singing the Jerry Policy did most of the lead part. He was so good at it. His voice was high, but not maybe quite a Frankie Valli. But just such a good track. Probably my favorite Four Seasons track. That's the main reason I chose this era, because of that song. Such a great song. They did have other songs that they did do during that period that were quite good as well, but that's the main one, and that's the reason why I avoided doing the 1960s version of the Four Seasons, because almost all that was dominated at that point in time by Frankie Valli. So this is a band that deserves to be on here, I think, and is a band I quite like a lot and enjoy their vocal performance. So there you have it. Today's band on day 24, Frankie Valli, or the Four Seasons with Frankie Valli, Don Ciccone, and Jerry Policy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. What songs do you like by this band? What band would you choose for today's video? That would be something you could put in the messages below. I would appreciate that. And we will see you again soon with another one of these series videos coming out tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye.